Thank you, Mr Speaker. People do deserve to feel safe in their own homes, and sadly, under this Miles Labor government, in fact, numbers around safety in their own home, and particularly for women victims of crime, have only increased, Mr Deputy Speaker. Domestic violence breaches since 2018 through to this year are up all across the state, Mr Deputy Speaker. In my hometown of Mackay, an increase of 83%. In Townsville, Mr Deputy Speaker, an increase of 93%. In the police area of the member for Townsville, 141% increase in domestic violence breaches. In Cairns, Mr Deputy Speaker, 269% increase in domestic violence breaches. I don't know about you, Mr Deputy Speaker, but if I was a woman in Cairns and a victim of domestic violence, I would not be feeling very safe in my home. And that is what I hear from women across this state each and every day that contact my office because of the failings of this Miles Labor government. Mr Deputy Speaker, we have seen 171,750 domestic family violence offences in the past year. What the government is doing is not working. Women in this state are at high risk because of the failings of this government. Plenty of announcements, lots of money, but soft on crime. Mr Deputy Speaker, this has been a doubling in the past 5 years. Strangulation up 30%. And the Red Rose Foundation continuously calls on this government to reform legislation, and it falls on deaf ears. And women continue to be choked and strangled, risking their lives. Mr Deputy Speaker, 181% increase in domestic violence breaches across the state since 2015. And this government says people are safe in their homes? Are you kidding me, Mr Deputy Speaker? Women do not feel safe in their homes under this government. Mr Deputy Speaker, many opposite ask about how we see victims of crime. We advocate, we meet with them. We tell their stories in this chamber, and is the LNP that is telling the stories of victims of crime, and every time we do, this government is embarrassed in the media and then decides to take action. Well, it's a little too late, Mr Deputy Speaker. Right now, because of the failings of this government, not only is every refuge in Queensland full, there is no housing. Women who are victims of crime at the hands of their partners have nowhere to go because of the failings of this Miles Labor government, Mr Deputy Speaker. The lack of investment in social and community housing, the lack of investment in refuges. If you are a woman in Gladstone, Mr Deputy Speaker, you have to leave Gladstone to flee domestic violence because the refuge can't take local women, Mr Deputy Speaker. And this is a consistent story across the state. I want to turn to the crime figures in my hometown across Mackay. 149% increase in stolen vehicles, 198% increase in assaults since 2015, a 29% increase in other thefts since 2015, and 175% increase in robbery, Mr Deputy Speaker. What a legacy the member for Mackay has left our local community. And I look forward to standing beside our great candidate there, a police officer, Nigel Dalton, awarded and recognised for his work in crime prevention, out on the beat, out working with communities right across the Mackay, Isaac and Whitsunday communities, Mr Deputy Speaker. And when he is door-knocking victims of crime, which is occurring each and every day, a good friend of mine just had her house broken into, keys stolen, vehicle stolen, couldn't go to work, a single mum who is now in fear because of what has occurred in our hometown. And we used to be very proud, actually, of Mackay's crime rates. We used to be very proud of the work that our local community has done. But under the current government and under the failings of the member for Mackay, under the failings of the Miles Labor government, our statistics are up there startlingly with the worst, Mr Deputy Speaker. And it is because of this failing government. Mr Deputy Speaker, women do not feel safe and victims of crime are not being heard.